There seems to be a reshuffling of the deck in the heavyweight division amongst he who remains at the top. And Joseph Parker appears to be an overlooked commodity. The former WBO titleist is in the heavyweight division someone who is overlooked and forgotten. Let's talk about Joseph Parker and what could be on next for Parker's career. Joseph Parker is a veteran heavyweight, a former world titleist, and at the age of 32 is exiting a prime, but still is primed for an opportunity at another shot for a world title. He happens to be 6'4" with a 76-inch reach, fighting out of New Zealand. He is a man who has had one of the most regular heavyweight careers in this modern era of boxing. You see, Parker has had his ups and downs. He has been a fighter on fringe contendership. He has been a fighter who has mixed and dabbled in to world title contention and even becoming a titleist himself. He has had an opportunity to face a couple of his contemporaries whose names are prominent in the sport. And that makes him a seasoned, griddled fighter. And at this stage, as the heavyweight division at the top is starting to take a little bit of a turn, we're seeing a new era coming into play. His record of 35-3 with 23 KOs speaks volumes about that experience that I mentioned. When you talk about the likes of fighters like Derek Chisora, Dillian White, Andy Ruiz Jr., then you want to bring in the names like Joe Joyce and Deontay Wilder, Zhilei Zhang, and of course Anthony Joshua. You can say that this man has faced pretty much more of his contemporaries than any other fighter in the division. And to boot, he has come through all of that with only 3 losses, 1 by stoppage, and that 1 stoppage was to a fighter that no one expected him to necessarily get stopped by, and that was Joe Joyce back in September of 2022. Since then, he has turned his career around, but after being in with the likes of Anthony Joshua, in which a fight that he wasn't allowed to face Joshua the way he really wanted to. He wanted to get inside on Joshua. He lost a 12-round unanimous decision back in March of 2018, where the officials refereeing the fight just wouldn't let Parker do his handiwork. And Joshua benefited from that. But we have seen the path that Joshua has gone on to since that endeavor. And when you talk about his fight against Joe Joyce, it was in September of 2022, and he came in against Joyce a bit on the heavy side at 255 1/4 pounds. We saw him get cut really bad over his right eye. And in the 11th round, it was a left hook that finally did Parker in. But Joyce in that fight possibly looked his best in any other fight that he's had. But Parker weathered that storm and was able to come back. One thing he has shown in his career is resiliency. Even if he is not the most astute boxer, or he isn't the most savvy of defensive men, Parker has shown a willingness to get in there and really give the best of whatever he has on an occasion. When he faced Deontay Wilder, he was able to outscore and outland Wilder in a fight, albeit being very aggressive, when Wilder was showing a submissive temperament in that particular match for whatever reason. And that fight took place in December of 2023 on the Day of Reckoning card, which kicked off the Riyadh season in boxing for the Saudis. I think that Joseph Parker is the type of fighter, he's a chameleon. He can adjust to whatever his circumstances are, as well as what type of opportunities may be presented before him. The adjustments that he has made in his most recent career, including his majority decision over Zhilei Zhang, which was back in March of 2024, he was down in rounds 3 and 8 against Zhang, but never stopped working. Zhang sort of let his foot off the gas, and Parker was able to come away with the decision. But the fact that Parker would get in against the most dangerous of punchers like Zhang, Wilder, and Joshua, and even the other contemporaries like Chisora and Dillian White, it speaks so much about the man and the fact that he is willing to take on any challenge. He is presently looking for a title shot, possibly the winner of Usyk versus Fury 2, and maybe a future opponent as the young heavyweight IBF champion Daniel Dubois may be looking for someone next year. So Joseph Parker is definitely a man that's in the mix, and he is not being considered. But when you have someone who has gone through what he has gone through, the highs as well as the lows, and has persevered and become a constant, a steady running form of energy in the division, you have to take your hat off to him. And with the experience that he has now, most of his contemporaries cannot speak of that very thing, the experience. So I believe he can be most deadly, having gone through what he has. And he very well may become a champion again in 2025 if given the opportunity. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think is next for Joseph Parker. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.